why on earth, because I've been very successful in so many different areas, am I limiting myself because of my size? And regardless if that's whether public perception or actually limit myself because it's harder to walk upstairs, why am I doing that to myself? So one of the things I really want to explore with the Fat Project is, why the heck do I keep doing that?
We controlled the amount he was eating in that, but we couldn't control him getting up in the middle of the night and raiding the fridge. It's almost like he never felt full. Where most people, you're full, that's it.
Well, I wanted to talk a couple minutes about my mom a little bit.
Okay.
So, as I mentioned, she died when I was 21. And I view that, of course, one of the saddest moments of my life. Mm-hmm. But it also was a really important pivot point for me. So I actually am very grateful for the experience that came out of it. We haven't talked much about this, but it allowed me to become who I was. Because my mom was, if she hadn't gotten sick, and she was sick my entire life, she helped build a community center and library in Kitchener.
Yeah.
She was involved with student council. She was the president of that, all while she was extremely sick. And battling heart disease and a whole number of other conditions. So in some ways I feel that I'm not carrying on her legacy necessarily, but I'm building my own, knowing that she could have if she didn't face this. And in some ways that's the genesis for the Fat Project as well. I often say my weight is a coping mechanism, my relationship with food is a coping mechanism. So I learned to deal with emotions, to deal with discomfort by eating. As an only child, I was quite intellectually stimulated. I was never at the kids' table. I was always at the grown-ups' table. Mm-hmm. But a way to control things in my own life was to eat. I think eating felt safe. I think eating made me feel good. And it just so happens when you choose food as a coping mechanism, everybody else notices too. And it's an easy one. It's so easy to get, right? It's the easiest drug of choice is food.
Like I was saying earlier, he doesn't feel full. But you know what? Now that you're talking about, your mom being so sick and all that sort of stuff, that was a big part of it too, And because he knew she was sick. And, a lot of doctor's visits, hospitals, operations, whatever. And, and I'm sure being the only child, he didn't have siblings he could share things with. That it was a struggle for him. Really.
Yeah, but this is really good to capture for other people because they should be having conversations with their parents, with their siblings about these things. And it may not reveal anything, but it can't be a bad thing to understand more about yourself in terms of why the people who've been in your life the longest think you're struggling.
If this changes anything, it'd be great. Even if it spurs one person, to get on the bandwagon. I think it's fantastic.
I agree.